Hello and welcome. Today we're traveling back in time, not to a place you might expect, but to a specific moment, the 13th of August, 1704. We're on a field in Bavaria, near a small village called Blenheim, which the English would later mispronounce as Blenheim. This is the site of one of the most decisive battles in European history, a clash that would change the continent's balance of power forever. The Battle of Blenheim was part of the War of the Spanish Succession. It all kicked off because King Charles II of Spain died without an heir, leaving his vast empire, which included not just Spain, but also territories in Italy, the Netherlands, and the Americas, up for grabs. In his will, he left everything to Philip, the grandson of King Louis XIV of France. The other major powers in Europe were terrified of a superstate created by the union of France and Spain under the Bourbon dynasty. Leading the Allied forces was one of British history's most brilliant military commanders, John Churchill, the first Duke of Marlborough. The Duke of Marlborough had marched his troops on a secretive 400-kilometer trek from the Low Countries all the way to the Danube. But Marlborough wasn't alone. He shared command with Prince Eugene of Savoy. The partnership between Marlborough and Eugene is one of the great collaborations of military history, working in almost perfect harmony. When the sun rose on August 13, 1704, more than 100,000 soldiers were arrayed on a relatively small patch of land. The Grand Alliance had around 52,000 men facing a slightly larger Franco-Bavarian army of about 56,000 men. The fighting that day was brutal. It was a battle of flintlock muskets, bayonets, cavalry charges, and cannon fire. The battle raged for over 8 hours, with casualties and prisoners numbering in the tens of thousands. For over half a century, the French army had been considered virtually unbeatable. The defeat at Blenheim shattered the myth of French invincibility. For the first time in a generation, a French marshal was captured on the battlefield. Marshal Tallard himself was taken prisoner. The Franco-Bavarian army was poised to capture Vienna, the capital of the Habsburg monarchy. Had Vienna fallen, the war would have been over. Marlborough's victory completely changed the strategic picture. The immediate threat to Vienna was eliminated, and Bavaria was knocked out of the war. In recognition of his achievement, Queen Anne granted the Duke of Marlborough a royal estate and money to build what we now know as Blenheim Palace. The palace was designed as much a military trophy as a family home. Its very name is a permanent reminder of the Duke's greatest triumph. It is famously the birthplace of Sir Winston Churchill, a direct descendant of the first Duke. The palace stands today as a magnificent, tangible piece of history, a stone and mortar legacy of a single decisive day of battle. From a muddy field in Bavaria to a magnificent palace in Oxfordshire, the Battle of Blenheim is about so much more than just one day of fighting. It's a tale of immense risk, brilliant leadership, and consequences that reshaped a continent and demonstrated the power of international cooperation. Was it the sheer scale of the battle, the audacity of Marlborough's march, or the creation of Blenheim Palace? Let me know your favorite fact in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey back to 1704, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. Your support makes all of this possible, and I am incredibly grateful to every single one of you who tunes in. Thank you for watching.